to my channel. Before I actually jump into this video, I just want to give you guys a heads up that a group of baby birds just hatched right outside my window, and they have not stopped chirping the entire video, or at least throughout the entire demo portion of this video. So they're gonna join us for today, and hopefully they don't completely ruin the video. I mean, they're so cute, they're just really annoying at the same time. But anyway, now that that is said and done, in today's video I'm going to be reviewing, demoing, and swatching the new Champagne Glow collection by Jaclyn Hill and Becca. And let me just tell you, it is absolutely stunning. The packaging, the product itself. Let me just show you guys what it looks like really quick. This is the PR package that was sent out to a bunch of beauty bloggers, so I'm pretty sure it doesn't actually come in this box if you were to buy the entire collection. And in here is the face palette, the eyeshadow palette, and the 3 shimmering skin perfectors in the 3 different formulas, which if you watched my favorite beauty products of all time video, all 3 of these made it into the favorite illuminators category because I'm just obsessed, and I think Jaclyn Hill just made it that much better with the color range in this collection, as well as just the shade of Champagne Pop is so stunning. And I personally don't know Jaclyn Hill, I have not met her yet, but I am so proud of her. A huge congratulations to this collaboration. She did an amazing job, and it just really shows how much hard work she puts into everything that she does. So huge congrats. Proud of you, girl. I hope to meet you one day. So if you guys are interested and want to see the demo review and swatches, keep on watching. I'm gonna start the review off with the Champagne Collection face palette, and in here comes 3 different blushes and 2 different shimmering skin perfectors in the press formula. So 2 different powder highlighters. One is good old Champagne Pop, which I'm sure you are all familiar with, and Champagne Pop also comes in a separate compact within this collection. And the other color is Prosecco Pop. And Prosecco Pop, while it looks like a perfect soft gold in the palette, on my skin tone, it translated really mustardy yellow. Like, it was too golden for my skin tone. So I would imagine that it would look great on someone with a medium to deeper skin tone. On someone with my skin tone and much fairer, it might translate to that more mustard color. However, I do have it on my eyes, and I will be swatching it so you guys can check out the color. And then for the 3 blushes that are in the palette, 2 are mineral blushes, and 1 is a high shimmer luminous blush, which is the one I currently have on. Again, I will be swatching all 3 regardless. We have the colors Rosé Spritz, Amaretto, and Pamplemousse. If you guys aren't familiar with Becca powder products, I feel like they're all very creamy, which gives me the assumption that they are more towards the hydrating side. Super blendable, extremely pigmented. I mean, I barely tapped my brush into the powder and this is what I got, which is a little more than I normally wear, but I actually really like it. I feel like the Rosé Spritz color is really comparable to NARS's Orgasm blush. And I don't know the prices of all of these products off the top of my head, but make sure you guys check the description box below for pricing because I will be including it all in there. So up next we have the Champagne Collection eye palette, and like all Becca eyeshadow palettes, or at least ones that I have seen, it comes with 5 different eyeshadows, and they range from light to dark, all very neutral. I feel like this could easily become an everyday palette for most people. And the shadows are super creamy, buttery, really pigmented. I find that when you dip your brush into the palette, they do create a lot of loose powder around it, which you would think would cause a lot of fallout. But honestly, because they're so creamy, when you press them onto the lid, you don't get much fallout. And I actually did my face before my eyes in today's demo, and I didn't really get any fallout. And they are also really easy to blend out, just like the blushes. Also, there are 2 shimmer and 3 mattes in here, so it is a very wearable palette and great for every single day. And finally, I have the 3 different formulas of the shimmering skin perfector, the liquid, the poured, which is a cream highlighter, and the pressed, which is a powder. And all 3 of these come in the color Champagne Pop. Prosecco Pop, it looks like it's only going to be available in that face palette. It doesn't come individually. And in the demo, you guys will kind of get a sense for which one would be more for you, because I don't really think you need to apply all 3 onto your face at the same, or for the same look, even though I did it for the sake of the demo, but I never really use all 3 at once. Usually I'll pair 2, so like the liquid with the cream or the liquid with the powder. I think the one thing I never do is pair the powder with the cream. It does give you a really intense highlight. However, I don't personally like it on myself, but I know other people do, so you can do that. And you can wear all 3. It's really up to you. So I will be comparing all 3, and you can see that I think the one that's the most intense is either the cream or the pressed formula, and the liquid is a little more subtle. It's great for mixing into your foundation, applying to the body. I just think Jaclyn Hill did such a great job in formulating Champagne Pop because the color, I think, suits a wide variety of skin tones. I've included a Champagne Pop in my professional kit, and I tend to use it on everyone, and it tends to work for most skin tones. And before I move on to the demo portion of this video, I just want to give you guys one little tip because I see this happening a lot. The shimmering skin perfectors in the pressed formula are so finely milled that if you drop them, they shatter. And you can do one of two things. You can either use alcohol, like a rubbing alcohol, pour it into the palette, wait for it to dry, and then press the powder back into place. I have done that with powders before, however, I feel like it does change the texture. It still goes on the same, it's still the same product, it's just, it ends up feeling a lot creamier in the palette. What I like to do is buy an empty sifter. So I got this at the beauty supply store. It was an empty container, it has a sifter on the top, and I pour the broken powder into here, shake it up, and now it's a loose Champagne Pop, which I think is pretty cool. So that's just a little tip I wanted to give you guys because I know it has happened to a lot of you. Now let's move on to the demo. All right guys, the first product I'm gonna be using is the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in the liquid form. If you've been watching my tutorials for quite some time now, you know that for some looks, I like to start it off with a cream highlighter on bare skin, but for the purpose of this tutorial, I wanna use them one at a time so you can see how they go on the skin. So I'm gonna be mixing in the Shimmering Skin Perfector liquid into my foundation. I chose to use the Makeup Forever Ultra HD foundation because I know that it's not super dewy and it's not completely matte, so you can actually see how glowy the liquid Shimmering Skin Perfector actually makes your skin. So I'm gonna mix these two products together on the back of my hand, and depending on how glowy I actually wanna be, I'll use 1 to 2 pumps of the Shimmering Skin Perfector. So for this one, I'm gonna use 2. So I'm mixing them together on the back of my hand with a concealer brush, and then I'm gonna apply it directly to my skin and blend it out with a beauty blender. So here's the glow you get when you use the liquid Shimmering Skin Perfector with a semi-matte foundation. Sometimes if I want the skin to look really wet for an editorial sort of look, I'll dispense the liquid Shimmering Skin Perfector onto the beauty blender and pat it on all over the face on top of foundation. Another way I like to use this product is I'll again dispense it onto the beauty blender and pat it onto areas of the body that I want to be highlighted, like the shoulders, collarbones. You can mix it in with your foundation. You can mix it in with your body lotion and apply it all over your body, or you just use your hands and apply it all over as well. Now I'm going to apply some concealer off camera and then move on to the next product. So I went ahead and applied concealer to the areas that needed it off camera, and I only set with powder underneath my eyes to make sure it didn't get creasy throughout this tutorial. So the next product I'm going to be using is the Shimmering Skin Perfector in the poured formula. So this is a cream highlighter, and like I mentioned previously, normally I like to apply a cream highlighter onto my bare skin, onto the high points of the face before going in with foundation. But for the purpose of really showing off how these products look on the skin and not trying to cover them up or anything like that, I'm going to be applying this now to the high points of my face using a beauty blender. So I'll pick it up directly onto the beauty blender and then pat it onto the skin. And the reason I use a beauty blender is because I find that it goes on a lot more seamless on the skin. Sometimes when I use my finger, I feel like it lifts the foundation, which is why cream highlighters can be a little tricky. So I'm gonna pick it up on the beauty blender and then just start patting it in to the high points of the face. And just on a side note, you never really want to place highlighter on any areas of the skin that are textured, such as flakiness, breakouts, acne, because the highlighter is just going to accentuate that texture. So as you can see right here, I broke out and it looks really textured, especially because I added the highlight there. So normally when I get breakouts like that, I don't apply a highlighter, but for the tutorial, I'm doing it anyway. I just don't recommend it. Or if you still want to use a highlighter, just use one that's a little more subtle. And you can even apply a little bit of this cream highlighter to the brow bone. So here you have the Shimmering Skin Perfector in the poured formula. Now I'm gonna set the entire face with powder before moving on to the next couple products. So along with setting my face with powder, I also contoured and bronzed using the Becca Low Light Sculpting Perfector. This is not a part of the Jaclyn Hill Champagne Glow collection, but I figured I would throw it in here since it is a Becca product. If you guys are curious as to how I use this product, I do have a video and I'll link it in here or in the description box below. So now I'm gonna go ahead and finish the color on the rest of the face using the Jaclyn Hill Champagne Collection Face Palette. In here comes 3 blushes as well as 2 different highlighters. So everything else was Champagne Pop except for in here there's also another highlighter called Prosecco Pop. And I would use that one just to demo it, but honestly, it looks like golden mustard on my skin. It's too yellow, too golden for my skin tone, which is shocking. But I am gonna use it in another way in this demo, so don't worry about that. So I'm gonna be using good old Champagne Pop. Champagne Pop also, again, comes in the separate Shimmering Skin Perfector Compact. I'm just skipping over it since it is included in this palette. So I'm gonna go ahead and highlight with the Champagne Pop highlighter and a Dose of Colors setting powder brush. So I'm just gonna apply this powder where I already applied the cream highlighter, but you don't need as much since you already have the cream highlighter placed there. And again, normally I would not use all 3 Shimmering Skin Perfectors in one look, but I am doing it for the purpose of the tutorial. So I'm gonna be really glowy after this. And again, you can use this on the brow bone as well. And of course, I'm not going to apply all 3 blushes. The one I'm gonna be using is called Rosé Spritz, and it's a luminous blush, whereas the other 2 are mineral blushes. This one has more of a high shine compared to the other 2. And it really does remind me a lot of NARS's Orgasm, but a little more intense. And finally, I'm gonna complete this look using the Jaclyn Hill Champagne Collection Eye Palette. So the only additional step I did off camera was prime my lid with the Urban Decay Enigma Primer. Last time I tried using concealer, setting with powder, and then using these shadows, and I found that when I did that, they didn't come out as pigmented, so I recommend for the lid to not set with powder if you want the eyeshadows to come out really dramatic. So the first color I'm going in with is the shimmery bronzy color, and I'm gonna pack that onto the lid and blend it up towards the crease. And then the only other color I'm gonna be using from the palette is the dark chocolatey brown, and I'm gonna apply that to the crease and lower lash line. And to complete this eye look, I'm gonna pop back into the face palette, and I'm gonna use Prosecco Pop, the one I said was too mustardy for my skin, and I'm actually gonna apply it to the center of the lid for an added pop on the eyes. So now I'm gonna go ahead and add just a couple of individual lashes, mascara, a lip, and I'll be right back. And that completes my demo review and swatches of the new Champagne collection by Jaclyn Hill and Becca. I'm pretty sure I called it the Champagne Glow collection this entire time. And I think I even called Champagne Pop Champagne Glow a couple times, so forgive me, but you guys know what I was talking about. Let me know if you guys enjoyed the style of this review video. Whenever I do, or I don't do that many review videos, but when I do, I always like to give a demo or swatches and whatnot. So if you guys enjoyed that, let me know in the comment section below. Also give me your feedback so I can include that in the next review and demo video. I currently have the new Anastasia Summer collection as well as the new Benefit Brow collection. So if you guys want to see review, demo, and swatches of those new collections, just let me know. And if you enjoyed this video, thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. So I see you in the next one. Bye guys.